Welcome to this new video on shaped facings. Shaped facings you can see in these three blouses are applied to different neckline shapes. They are particularly useful for shapes that have corners or deep curves where bias facings would not be appropriate. In this square neckline, you can see that the facing is pretty wide. It's like an inch or 2.5 centimeters or even more, and then is hemmed. In this sweetheart neckline, it is a little narrower. Not able to show you the inside. In this one again, though it's a round neck, but the shaped facing is a pretty wide one and has an application of an interlining to finish the roundness of the facing. Shaped facings may be applied in such a manner so as to finish them completely towards the underside or the inner side of the garment. Or they may be applied in such a way that they turn out on the outer side of the garment. Such an application is called a decorative facing. To plan, we will work on a sample size of 20 cm by 20 cm and a neck shape that is square of 10 centimeters at the top, 8 centimeters at the bottom and 6 centimeter depth. The shaped facing will be 2 centimeters ready with 0.5 centimeter seam allowance on either side for folding and finishing. Cut the fabric with the required size of the neckline as shown. Pin it up with a center fold. After this, we require to trace the seam line on the underside as well. So trace it with a tracing wheel and a carbon paper. Once this is traced, we need to cut the facing. The size of facing fabric should be wide enough to cover the width of the facing and long enough to cover the width of the facing in the lengthwise direction. Facing fabric needs to be planned as well. So its length could be 6 centimeter plus 4 centimeter and its width on fold could be 5 plus 4, so 9, and in total 18 centimeters. That would really help us in sizing it well. This will be made as a decorative facing, and color on color will be made as a standard facing where the facing goes totally inside. To cut the neckline on the facing piece as well, fold it into half with right sides facing each other, and this is the center fold which is going to match the center fold of the sample. Place it very carefully one over the other, making sure that the angles and the lines are totally coinciding, and pin it up. Pin it up, once again check whether the lines are coinciding, and now trace the neckline. Cut the facing on neckline and use the carbon paper for tracing the lines on the facing as well. Check the traced lines on the underside and unpin the samples, unpin the two pieces. And now once again you'll need to trace the lines on the side that didn't have the lines. So redo the tracing work with the tracing wheel and carbon paper. After marking, cut the required width of the facing and add the seam allowances, which we had planned as 0.5 centimeter, but you could take it as 1 centimeter to make it easy for you to fold in a wider piece. Carefully machine stitch the facing in place and slash the corners deep till the seam, because this is what will help us to turn the facing to the inside. Right now I'm showing you the normal facing where the entire facing has to go to the inside. You can make a little break fold with your hand once and then iron it. This is the decorative one having been applied from the wrong side to the right side. And so now same thing, you could either hand break this fold or iron it so that it is perfect line of the square, and the bottom portion to be folded upwards, the sides to be folded towards the center. The shaped facing also needs to be stitching needs to be done to hold the facing in place, but in decorative facing we can avoid that stitching on 3 layers, and It may be done on the facing which turns totally inside. As you can see here, 3 layers are taken, 2 of the seam allowance, 1 of the facing. They have been stitched together. Be careful at the corner. Sometimes you might need to skip at the corner a little bit, or you might just reach close to the corner. And make sure that the understitching is cleanly done, because this is what is going to form your shape of the neckline. Corner needs to be cleanly pulled out, and this will be done by the nice slash, deep slash that you had made, and a good row of understitching which is now done at this point. Iron the shape facing towards the center, and pushing it upwards as I just said, and iron it, and make a clean line, because this is what is going to give us a good finish of the square portion and the straight lines. Fold in the allowance that we left now, 1 centimeter, or if you have 0.5, cleanly with the iron to get a clean edge for you to hem it up, or machine stitch as would be done in a decorative facing. And make sure that the facing is now cleanly outside from the wrong side. It's turned out to the right side, and none of that white material should pop out. Only the blue should be seen on the right side, because remember, this is a decorative facing. It should not pop out at the corners or on the seam lines. Carefully pin up the corners and the facing in place so that none of the white fabric shows on the right side. In a shape facing, we can do top machining. Now it's not called understitching because it's visible on the right side. It's done on all 4 layers. You could stitch it, running right over the corner and making a sharp corner there, and then stitching, machine stitching the edge as well. But before you machine stitch, remember, you should always baste it. This is going to be the right side of the garment, so you really don't want an unclean line here. Make sure you baste it in place before you set out to work on the sewing machine. When you reach the corner, be very careful to maintain it sharp, and maintain the 2 corners equally on both sides at the same level. Once basted in place, shift to the sewing machine to do the top machining on the 4 layers, just 1 millimeter away from the fold, and turn the corner very carefully. Machine stitch the edge of the facing as well. Again, you have to be very careful at the corners, and also be very careful that you're just 1 millimeter away from the fold. And now when you have the corner, pivot your corner with the needle at the corner, and pivot the fabric around so as to get a sharp line, sharp sewing line there. And try not to waver, and try and have a regular parallel line to the top machining line as well. And this is going to give you the right effect on the front side. Check out the facing once you've done the machining. Iron it and clip off all the edges, the raw edges that are peeping out, and the threads, and clean up the entire sample. And check it out on the right and wrong side both ways for any defects in seam. The sample is now ironed and sewn in the right places. You can check the wrong and the right side for any defect. Sometimes the wrong side seam is not too good. Try and redo if it requires any such operation again. But the facing is from the look of it, it's quite nice and well settled. If you're happy with today's learning, then do like, share and subscribe. Help the video reach many more students, because that's who it is meant for. Bye bye and see you soon.